And I think a lot of people are going to start working from home. So from the audio perspective, if I'm a smart company, I realize that 6 months from now, this number of people are going to start working from home more and more. People are going to need audio solutions that work on the desktop. And one of the things that I have been writing about almost, monthly for both Gear Patrol and Jazziz is that there has never been a better time to kind of get into audio. I mean, so I don't buy into doom and gloom. I can't get sucked into the doom and gloom. I know it's a hard time for everybody. I can tell you, you don't want to get COVID. But at the end of the day, we all have to go back to work, and we all have to kind of get back to our normal lives. And consumers are going to start buying audio again. And I think you have to look at the trends that existed before COVID and realize that they're only going to, I guess, get stronger as we come out of this. I mean, let's deal with the reality. People buying headphones. I mean, if you look at the sales numbers for the first quarter of 2020, headphone sales are still doing pretty well. I know from my conversations with a number of headphone manufacturers in Asia and Europe, still moving headphones. They had supply chain issues for a month or two because factories were closed in China and Korea and Japan. They're back open again.
Yep. I talked to a retailer out on the West Coast a week or so ago, and he said, we've never been busier.
Yeah.
And they focus on headphones.
Headphone related products. So desktop amplifiers, like the type of product that you guys manufacture. That's the thing. I think the companies who are smart are the ones who are going to focus on these sort of one box solutions that for a lot of people will be all that they need. Because at the end of the day, I've been writing for years about the fact that I'm not sort of tooting my own horn here, because I'm not the only person. John Darko, actually, Darko Audio, has been touting this Calyx hi-fi concept for a couple of years.
I love that.
And he's dead on. I mean, he is dead on. People want simplicity. People want a box for their media unit, their credenza for their desk. They want something that literally requires one cable or two cables maximum. They want something they can plug a pair of speakers into, or something they can sync up to a pair of wireless active speakers. They want something that they can plug a pair of headphones into, and maybe they want a turntable, and obviously they want some type of streaming capability. So a lot of smart companies are now building products, that enable all of that, and I think that is going to become more of the trend in high-end audio than anything else. I mean, I don't want to make anybody mad at me, but not that I care. But I think companies that are overly focused on these massive, six unit separate systems with massive power supplies everywhere and $300,000 speakers, I think that ship has sailed.
I think there's going to be there's always going to be some market for that, and it gets a lot of the misconceptions that I talked about in a conversation I had with New Record Day. But I agree with you. I think that simplicity is a feature, and that shift is going to happen at all segments of the market, right? So you have the Cambridge audios, and they have an all-in-one amp, streamer, DAC. It really does everything for not a whole lot of money. And then they have a couple higher end ones too, but you're going to see things on the lower end of the market from a cost perspective. And that makes sense, right? Because those consumers, they're not audiophiles. They would never be, and they just want, they want simplicity, and that's their main thing. And it's a few things down. But even so, I think I'm seeing, I talk to at least half a dozen people a day, sometimes more, sometimes less. And these are audiophiles that are calling us up. And even then, you're getting a lot of people who are, even if they used to be the separates guy, they're saying, you know what? I don't want to deal with that anymore. Or I downsized and I don't have a dedicated listening room. So I think at all segments of the market, that simplicity that you talk about is a trend.